Time to move on and invite our next guest, HealthCare Global. That's a stock on our radar. The stock is near a 52-week high. There have been some recent large trades on the company. Now, on June 1st, the promoter entity, well, they sold close to 35 lakh shares, and CVC, the other promoter, bought that part from them. Last year as well, there was a similar transaction. To discuss more on these developments, we're joined by Mr. Ajai Kumar, the chairman and CEO of the company. Hi, Mr. Kumar. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. What's going on here? You know, Mr. Ajai Kumar, we have been seeing a lot of PEs exit businesses. But in your case, they want a bigger chunk of the business. After buying in the early hundreds, then in the mid 200s, and now at 300 as well, they are increasing stake. Now, your stake has been coming down. My question to you is there, a targeted holding between both of you all? I think your holding would be down to the low teens. Do you look to sell more, and will CVC take a bigger chunk? Is that the plan?
No, I think in a way it's between the promoters, exchange of shares shows the confidence we have in the company. And the only reason for me to take some liquidity is because as a promoter, in all the 30 years or so as a founder, I have never taken any liquidity from my shares. I'm also, age of 71. So I thought it is good to take some liquidity of having worked all these years. And who is better to take than your own co-promoter when the promoter obviously shows more confidence. It is not like any insider selling. It is like insider to insider. So that is how it should do. And it also shows that a PE has got that kind of confidence in our company, which is very good. And we are very proud of that, what is happening.
That's very good news, then. You've explained that, but will you want to raise some more liquidity, say bring your holding down to around 10%, or are you done now? You've raised enough liquidity that you want, and
I am done at this for the near future. I'm done. I think that's it.
Okay, Mr. Ajai Kumar, good morning. And I completely take your point. I mean, you worked so hard all your life. At some point, you'd perhaps want to enjoy those spoils as well. Got it? And kudos to you for that.
I always say in a very light-hearted way to my family, you don't want to go to your grave holding all the shares and not having any liquidity. So it is important to have some liquidity.
Absolutely. I mean, what's the point of making the money if you don't spend it, right? I got that. But I guess for your shareholders, what they would want to know, and as Nigel was also asking you, currently I think you have about 12-13% of stake. Would you at some point look to exit entirely? Or would you bring it down further in the near future, maybe 12, 18 months? No, anything at all on the cards?
In the near future, I have no plans to dilute myself further. I think I have enough liquidity to do some of the things. I do a lot of rural work, NGO work, and I want to put the money to some of this use. I have a lot of work going on in leadership training, women training, so I'm going to use some of the funds for that. That is the whole idea behind it.
Okay. All right. Mr. Ajai Kumar, then, and kudos to the business that you're running as well. Cancer has been such a disease, and, you would have treated so many lakhs of patients as well out there. So best wishes to you and your team on that aspect. But since we're talking about it from a stock market perspective, what is CVC's ultimate goal? Now, they got in at around 120 rupees odd. They bought some stake from you.
They got it 130.
130, all right. But what is the ultimate goal? Valuation-wise, you're still trading at a bit of a discount in comparison to the larger names. Do CVC, after 3-4 years, do they want to get out of the business at some valuation? Do they have a time horizon, 2025 or something?
No, not to my knowledge. They are there for a longer period. Obviously, at some point, they will exit, but I don't think they have any plans in the near future. Of course, they are the best persons to talk about it. I may not be the right person. But as a co-promoter, I can say that it has been a very healthy relationship. Working with them has been phenomenal. Even though in the beginning I had some doubts, I think it has worked out very well. Mutual respect. And we believe the growth strategy we have put together is phenomenal. And the way I see it, you mentioned about the valuation and all, even though we don't give numbers, we are on an upward trajectory. When we look at our stock, which is a little bit lower in the valuation times the multiples, as you call it. But I think the future looks very robust for us. So that is where we see the positive impact of HCG's growth. And as we all know, cancer unfortunately is increasing. And we are positioned very well for this in terms of not only in big cities, but also in tier 2, tier 3 cities. With this kind of a positioning, we are well versed to grow for the growth.
Okay, can you help us with some numbers, Mr. Ajai Kumar? If you look at the occupancies, right, they were absolutely flat in the quarter gone by. I think you're sitting at 65% occupancy. Why hasn't it picked up quarter on quarter? And on the chemotherapy itself, I think 37% of your sales came from chemo-related, procedures in FY23. How much do you think it could grow to in FY24?
I think we are looking at growth in the mid-teens, 15 to 18% growth. And regarding the, occupancy, as I have always said, occupancy is only one arm of oncology, because a lot of the growth happens footfall, depends on the footfall, because majority of the care is outpatient, whether it is chemotherapy, radiation. In fact, radiation is where our growth is happening significantly. And we are putting in second and third units in places. Like, for example, in Mumbai, we are putting in a second unit. So also in Jaipur, third unit, we are putting a second unit in place like Ranchi. So a lot of activity is happening on the existing centers' growth. And also we are bringing in more technology. For example, when you bring in robotic surgery, the average length of stay in the hospital actually comes down. Even though your revenue may be higher, but the average length of stay comes down, because from 7-8 days surgery, you're now sending the patient home in 3-4 days. So these are all the changes which are happening in the medical field. Particularly in oncology, there is more targeted treatments, immunotherapy, all of it are outpatient. Tablets are now replacing injections. Yes. So this dynamic change happening is only going to produce better results for the patients. Our focus is on patients, obviously. As an oncologist, I started it because focus on patients. Obviously revenue and all will follow, and that is what has happened.
Okay, very quickly, sir, the fertility revenue, do you want to scale it, or could you look at selling that business very quickly?
Now we are made some changes to scale it significantly. Okay. And at some point we'll divest, of course, and at the right time we will announce it, but not right now.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Mr. Ajai Kumar, for joining in and filling us in with all those details. Wishing you all the best. For the time being, slip into a short break. On the other side, Mitesh Thakkar is waiting for us to give us some technical picks.